as big as a year ago, but big gap back there, third. But Sage Creek, a very, very good showing. Chloe Barrett coming through in third. Isabel Gladden in fifth. Josie Hoy in 11th. Beatrice Gladden in 14th. And rounding out the top five, Anna Shulika in 22nd. So there are your team results. No doubt for the individual winner, that was Kiara Daly of La Jolla. And she made that very apparent from the beginning, but Sage Creek with a solid win as well. Again, you see the scores adjusting. We'll get that all confirmed here. But it should be Sage Creek taking victory in our first sweepstakes race. Well, our second is off and running. As we move now to the boys' side of things, a little bit closer early on now that there's no Kiara Daly to take it out super fast, but the boys will get their chance here with the team sweepstakes. So you see our finishers continuing to finish from the girls' team sweepstakes there, but for the boys, much more tightly packed as they'll come around this bend here. Olly O'Connor, one to watch from Viewpoint, second a year ago in the closest of margins. Foothill Tech took victory in this race as a team a year ago, won by 30 points over South Pasadena, 106 their team score. So as they cruise around Valley Loop here for a couple of times, and we'll get that first mile marker as they hit the switchbacks and that first big hill. Come back around past the warm-up field, go all the way for the big loop to Reservoir Hill, loop back around past that start line, turn through the gauntlet and onto the track as we saw. And we may get a better look at some of the leaders here on the boys' side since it's a little more tightly bunched. Kiara Daly, I like to say, took the drama out of it on the individual side. Olly O'Connor, as I said, certainly one to watch. Viewpoint out of Calabasas, just north a little bit, the Patriots. O'Connor having a really solid season. Taking victory in the Cool Breeze Invite. And a couple of league meets as well. He was 8th there in Woodbridge. O'Connor took victory in the 5K course at the Clovis Invite, the Friday Championship as well, running 14:47. Well, it's worth mentioning that this individual course record set, of course, last year, the new 3-mile course by Trey Caldwell of De La Salle, running 14:46. So it is a tough course, and of course with cross country, the times are not meaningless by any means, but they are very course dependent. How about that? Again, this challenging Mount SAC course draws teams and individuals from all over the region and even the country, and literally thousands of athletes descending upon Walnut, California here. It happens in the fall, it happens in the spring on the track side of things. It's really a whole carnival, if you will, in the spring. If you've never made it out to the Mount SAC relays, that should be a meet on your bucket list for sure. Every level competes there, from the youth to the middle school and high school, collegiate and pro levels as well. And they do such a good job with this high school cross-country side of things as well. Well, through the Valley Loop and getting ready now for the switchbacks. Our leaders, Ben Friedland of University, out of San Fran, Elio Adriani of North Tahoe, Olly O'Connor, as we mentioned, of Viewpoint, all within really a couple of tenths of each other as they continue to climb this hill. Those switchbacks so tough. Getting a little encouragement there from perhaps a coach coming down the hill. Josiah Bowman of Sage Creek, having just seen his girls' teammates take victory as a team. Blake Sigworth of Palos Verdes, Ethan Wilbur of Cathedral Catholic, Dylan Menart of West Torrance, Jack Richter of Viewpoint. All these athletes right there coming through. 451, 452 first mile split. You can see Blake Sigworth making a move up there for Palos Verdes. And I'm a fan. I like the old school feel for some of those jerseys with the stripes there. You see Palos Verdes with the red and black jerseys there. And now we get a look at our athletic course tracker to give you an idea of where we are cresting that hill. Our leaders are coming downhill now, and I love to talk about what point in the course do you make your move. And it's so close here that the individual, the leader tactics are going to come into play, certainly the team tactics as well, which can be a little harder to discern during the race. But out in front, we'll see those leaders as they come down the hill. The question is, do you make your move on the downhill? Some athletes like to relax. You can't completely fall asleep on that downhill. You really still have to stay active and keep those biomechanics really strong, and keep the structural integrity, if you will, of your running form. You can't completely fall asleep on the downhill, but some athletes like to hammer the downhill. Some athletes say, hey, uphill, that's where I'm going to break everybody. Some athletes say, hey, I'm going to really push hard on this downhill. But for our leaders, gosh, a dozen or so still battling it out up in front. You can just see how tough this climb is. Just about halfway through this team sweepstakes race for the boys. Blake Sigworth of Palos Verdes starting to try to make a move there, but now he's got company. And who we were talking about, Olly O'Connor, he knows this course. Again, runner-up a year ago, looking very peppy here. Sigworth still running second there for Palos Verdes, but talk about that downhill. It looks like O'Connor decided that was going to be the point where he made his move. Patience, certainly a virtue, cross-country in general, and on this course in particular, but it's not just a big uphill, it's a long downhill. Couple of divots there you can see on that topographical map, but now a slight uphill to get back to some flat running as they start to straighten out here before turning the corner and hitting Reservoir Hill. We'll get that second mile marker, but it is Olly O'Connor of Viewpoint, the senior. See as the athletes come through here on their final big downhill before a slight uphill you see, but our leader, as you can see on the runnerspace tracker there, continues to be Olly O'Connor. As we mentioned, he won that ASICS Clovis Invitational a couple of weeks ago, 14:47 for that Steve Ward Boys Championship on the Friday edition. Having a really solid season. Trying to avenge that. Trying to cross the tape first, as everybody is, certainly, but Olly O'Connor decided to make his move on that downhill. He was runner-up a year ago and trying to take the tape this year. Through 2 miles, Olly O'Connor, our only athlete under 10 minutes. Blake Sigworth still holding strong there in second for Palos Verdes at 10:04. But look at Olly O'Connor of Viewpoint, 9:57.7 for the Viewpoint athlete. You can see that from Olly O'Connor back to Sigworth now has some company. Mahari Windheim of Desert Christian, Josiah Bowman of Sage Creek, Nathan Wilbur of Cathedral Catholic, all right there within a couple of seconds of each other. Sigworth was trying to break away and hold that second position and perhaps go with Olly O'Connor, but for O'Connor, again, a very confident move and a decisive one, or it remains to be seen, I suppose. It is the decisive move, but certainly for O'Connor as he works on Reservoir Hill here. Again, this is a course that he knows well and a hill that he knows well also, as he will come up and over for the final time on this course, final time in his high school career as well. There is our leader, Olly O'Connor. Second here in 15:02 a year ago. And again, having a really good season so far. A couple of wins under his belt, including that Cool Breeze. So Reservoir Hill, if you've run this course, you know it well. The big challenge, not quite as steep as that first hill, but it's later in the race, and the fatigue, it really is a decision point for these athletes. So you see some of the team tallies through 2 miles. Torrance and University duking it out here. West Ranch within spitting distance as well. But Olly O'Connor, 9:03 on the track last year, over 3,200 meters. So really just knocking on the door to a number of events throughout his high school career, and this will be a big win for him if he's able to hold on, and a great way to kind of start peaking towards that postseason. California State meet to be held just about a month from now, but cruising is Olly O'Connor. Again, such an interesting course, certainly not a typical golf course or open meadow type cross-country course with the gator out in front. We kind of get a lot of these unique views. As you can see, that gap, maybe, 7-8 seconds or so back to the rest of the chase group for Olly O'Connor. But you saw how confident and smooth he looks still. That open stride of Olly O'Connor of Viewpoint out of Calabasas, just north of LA here. They will come through the gauntlet and prepare to enter Hilmer Lodge Stadium. This is Olly O'Connor of Viewpoint. Viewpoint a year ago, 8th overall. Well, they'll be led by a single point from Olly O'Connor. 300 meters or so remaining for the Viewpoint senior. He bided his time well. And coming off the downhill on that first hill, broke away from Sigworth of Palos Verdes, and the rest of the field opened up a gap and has continued to roll here. Olly O'Connor will upgrade his silver from a year ago to gold this year in the 2025 Mount SAC Cross Country Invitational, the 77th running. Keep an eye on that time as well. As we mentioned, that record, 14:46 from Trey Caldwell. Now, it could still get broken later in the rest of the sweepstakes races today or tomorrow, but for now, it's going to be very close. Olly O'Connor will be under 14:46 that Trey Caldwell ran a year ago to set this new 3-mile course record. He will be just outside 14:48 for Olly O'Connor. 4:50 on his final mile. 4:50 mile there for Josiah Bowman of Sage Creek as well. Coming through under 15 minutes. 14:57 for Josiah Bowman of Sage Creek. And now we play the waiting game. We start to get the team tally. And as some of my past co-commentators have pointed out, you know, if you're watching this meet and you're a youngster and you're used to seeing these results immediately, back in the day, it really could take minutes or hours sometimes, even at the highest level, to really get an accurate count of everything. So we're spoiled a little bit, but certainly Timer's doing a great job. Again, finished results. West Torrance, you can see, it looks like has 5 of their through. West Ranch with 4. Now University coming through, and it's not always the case that the first with 5 is your winner, but it is a very, very good sign. So West Torrance, University out of San Fran. And yeah, this is going to be close. Again, that score can change. West Torrance was 3rd a year ago. And that would be a big move for them if they're able to pick up that win. But look at University. This is, or if you're a fan of West Torrance, the University team, this is high drama here as we sort out our finishers. And by my count, Dylan Menert of West Torrance coming through in 4th. Behind him, Brandon Miranda in 20th. Good bunching, but behind him, 22nd and 23rd for West Torrance. From Cody Wheeler and Kobe Mashburn, Gillian with Evan Tamura there in 25th. As that is their top 5. And for University, it looks like they may, as we start to tally everything up, be the ones to take victory here. They had a couple lower sticks. Ben Friedland coming through in 6th. Ethan Kraska there in 10th. Overall, William Creasy in 18th. 26th for Ishan Patnaik. Mateo Moretti in 31st. Is that going to be enough? It looks like by this time, I think that the chips may have fallen where they may. So it looks like University will be our team champions of the boys' side of things, the team sweepstakes race, Division 3, 4, and 5. The University coming down from Northern California, San Francisco, and making their presence known. West Torrance. Yeah, see, we're still getting everything tallied. If you hear the hesitation in my voice, I've been burned before proclaiming a certain team as the victor as they continued to count everything up. So that is not an insurmountable gap by any means, but sometimes the adjustments can go your way or the other way. So for University out of San Fran, West Torrance was right there as well. Great showings again from both of those teams. Shorter commute for West Torrance, but San Fran University making the most of the trip. As we see our finishers continue to trickle in. Well, we'll have our individual races now. The team sweepstakes having concluded with that boys race, we'll move now to the girls individual race and close out the sweepstakes action with the boys individual. We'll be back, of course, tomorrow for, well, plenty of action for all of the races, but the sweepstakes races to take place for Divisions 1 and 2. Well, it looks like the nod will go to University here at San Fran, but boy, a very, very close margin. We saw a single-point victory on the girls' side last year. Could it be just a 2 or 3 point victory here for University out of San Fran? Well, we turn our attention now back to the girls as they are off and running on their individual sweepstakes race. As we mentioned, Ayana Hickey of the Bishop School took victory last year and would love to make that a repeat win. I think it would make it 2 wins for La Jolla Schools as well after Kiara Daly's victory for